I think.
Are we ready? I think we're ready.
Yeah.
I think we're ready.
Okay, this is my presentation on leafcutter ants. I just like lit over here.
Oh no.
I'm looking at Anson. Okay, so I did not proofread this, by the way, so like don't make fun of me. I did not look this ever again. Okay, so like overall info on ants in general are like that they're social creatures and like will die if they're alone. It's true. A lone ant is not going to survive. They live in like organized colonies. There's like many different types of like ways colonies are organized, but like really broadly, it would be like the queen, the female workers, and like the males that like do their male stuff. I don't even know what they do. I only know about my leafcutter ants. I don't know about like other ants. But they also, I think ants are cool because they have like physical differences within their own species. And here's an example of that. With the queen, the winged male, and the workers, they're all very, very different. And also, ants are very important. They're kind of like seen as pests by humans, but they can often act as like keystone species, which would be nice to them. And their usual colorings are yellow, red, brown, or black. Their main parts are like the head, what that thorax do, and
What that thorax do?
Anyways,
Actually do that. That's
they have
dumb.
two sets of jaws. They have like, usually, they have like the outer one for carrying and digging, and the inner is for like the little eating. And I said that already on the class. So, next slide. But leafcutter ants are cool because, yeah, they're located in the rainforest, specifically like the Amazon rainforest. And they have like massive jaws, the ones that like are responsible for cutting. You haven't really seen this image, but like, I think the video shows it better. That ant's jaws are like really big. And they have like really huge colonies, like up to 10 million. And the nests are also really huge. Like think about how much 800 cubic feet are. That's really big. And like the trails for like cutting the leaves, like can also span really, really far. They kind of have to have it span far because of like how much they use. When you like leafcutter ants are like kind of scary because they can literally like take an entire tree and remove like all its foliage. So they're like almost like, you know how like with like locusts they move over and like eat all the green and keep going. It's kind of like that. But they highly impact the surrounding environment, mostly like both like positively and negatively. Obviously the trees will lose their foliage, but also like the pruning can stimulate plant growth and overturning the soil because of how many chambers they build underground promotes like root growth. You might be wondering, why do they need so many leaves?
We're gonna find out, aren't we?
Next slide.
All right.
So they're literally farmers.
That's great.
It's really cool. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
So some specific roles. They have many, many roles because they're like, I think they're like really advanced ants, like very advanced. They have the foragers. They're like, and these are female. They explore around the nest for like healthy, non-toxic leaves, and they leave us a chemical trail so the others know where to like follow, and they carry these leaves back by cutting them. The guards are different from soldiers. They're these tiny little ants that like you can see like riding on the leaves, and you're like, why are they doing that? It's to protect against these parasitic flies that literally are too tiny to eat the ants, but they want to lay eggs on the heads of these working ants and have like the what's it called? The baby fly, the larva, like crawl in and like kill the ant to eat it. Like it's actually insane. So they like kill those. And then there's the gardeners and the nurses. They kind of like take two roles. They take care of the fungus, and they care for the eggs and like all the baby stuff. And then the excavators are the ones that dig out chambers and they like use like rooms in a house. For example, there's like the garbage chamber where like dead ants and mold and like old leaves go. But most of the chambers are used for fungus gardens. Then there's like the trash handlers, and they're kind of like lonely in my opinion because they're like exposed to so many like gross things that they're basically forbidden from like seeing or going to the other ants or like going near anything important like the actual like fungus itself. And then there's the soldier ants. That's what it says out here. They're giant and they defend the colony against like actual like physical threats that aren't little flies. And the queen lays eggs. That's kind of all she does. Cute egg. Yeah. Okay, and here's some. This isn't the fungus. I mean, here is a fungus, but that's not fungus on the ant exactly. I'll explain that later. But basically, the fungus that they eat is literally their only food source, and so when they bring down the leaves to like their homes, the fungus like feeds on these leaves and breaks down the plant polymers that the ant like digestive enzymes can't, and it makes the leaf nutrients available in the fungus, and then they eat it. If the fungus fails to thrive, the whole colony dies. But also, if the fungus dies like with the colony, like they need each other. And this fungus is literally only found in these colonies, and it's similar to how we have our crops, like the way how we grow corn. You're not gonna find that growing in the wild that way. It's like that's how we've basically domesticated. It's like their domesticated fungus. It's pretty cool. I don't know how to say that, but it's like actinobacteria. It like has these antifungal properties against funguses that aren't like the one that is being harvested, so it like defends the fungus. And it basically the ants like can have this on them, and sometimes they have so much that it like covers them like powdered sugar, as was described in my article that I read. And in order to like create a new colony, the young queen that would leave would actually take some of the mold with her and be like, here's my little crop, and like it works. It's kind of cute.
That's cute.
Yeah. Next slide. That was literally all the slides I had, but here's this really cool video.
Deep in the Amazon forest lives a small insect with a powerful jaw, the leafcutter ant. Its teeth vibrate 1,000 times a second as they slice through these leaves. The ants don't eat the leaves, they may be toxic, but they do carry them away. The path is often dangerous and scary. So why do the ants carry all those leaves away? As their name already suggests, leafcutter ants do cut leaves. The curious thing is they don't eat the leaves. They use them to grow something. But first they have to haul the gigantic leaf pieces away. This is no small matter. For humans, it would be like carrying the equivalent of 1 ton with their teeth. More remarkable still, these mini Hercules range more than 100 meters from their nest, the human equivalent of a 25-kilometer hike. Smaller ants ride on the leaf, shotgun style, to protect the carrier from parasitic flies. As they travel, the ants lay down a scent trail to mark the way. The chemical, a pheromone, is so powerful that each ant produces only 1/billionth of a gram. The ant's nest is huge and may house as many as 8 million individuals. Here, the leaves are taken to special chambers. A different class of ant clean the leaves, crush them, and arrange them carefully. Afterwards, they spread spores around like seeds and let a fungus grow. And that, the highly nutritious fungus, that is what the ants are after. The fungus is their own homegrown food. Leafcutter ants are one of the world's oldest and most competent farmers. Humans have been farming for about 12,000 years. These ants have been doing it for 60 million years. And they don't need shovels or plows. They use their own bodies. Their underground cities are vast. There may be as many as 1,000 chambers, all tended by gardener ants producing fungus for the colony. All of the ants take their work very seriously, and they love to optimize their workflow. If worker ants bring leaves that contain chemicals that upset its growth, the fungus somehow tells them, and the ants then gather different leaves. The queen is a colossus in this miniature world and weighs 1,500 times more than the small gardener ants. Only she produces the eggs that will turn into the many different kinds of workers. The smallest type of ant, the minim, looks after the queen's eggs and feeds the larvae. ants are affected by their environment. During the wet season, when the rainstorms in the Amazon are so intense that the forest becomes an amphibious world halfway between air and water, the leafcutter ants are in trouble. Their pheromone trails are washing away. The ants are disoriented. Their highly organized world is disintegrating under the onslaught of the rain. And things are about to get even worse. There are many hungry predators around, like this cane toad.
I don't know how they made a toad look like like right, like
And this amphibian is obviously not interested in vegetarian food. Besides predators and the torrents of water from above, the rivers also keep rising, flooding the ants' trails. Above ground, the insects are severely handicapped by the rains, but their vast underground colony in the terra firma forest are safe from flooding. Rain or not, there is always work to do. The colony is busy, growing more fungus, feeding the offspring, and keeping their house clean.
Apparently they like little tiny little kids.
Leafcutter ants are not the only animals with an intricate relationship. Check out our playlist and follow many more
I feel
interesting
like you
related.
could. Like, why? If ants can eat it, why can't we eat it?
exactly what I'm
And it's
saying.
like farmed fungus. It's like GMO stuff. It's like genetically bred.